Okay, so first of all, I know I could be doing this on a better, more advanced technology like my tablet or my phone, but this is what I'm used to, the old laptop webcam. So that's what I'm going to stick with. It'll be easier for me. It's been a long time since I've talked to you. I just watched my last video, and I talked about a couple of things that have changed. This blog was about bipolar disorder, so we'll get to that first. My experience. Not much has changed, except that not much has changed. I was so used to riding the roller coaster and that being my norm, and now my norm is maybe twice a year a significant noticeable episode, but nothing that keeps me from working or functioning. In fact, anybody notices. I did have my Seroquel increase because I had a period where I started to have that feeling of like I was watching everything happening from the back of my head, and that I wasn't really controlling what was going on, and therefore felt like I could say or do something that I had no control over, that I was just watching it, and just sort of a dissociative type thing. And my Seroquel was increased just a little bit, and poof, it was gone. And I stick to a strict schedule. I get out and get exercise. Although I do have to say I've gotten bad in the winter. This winter, I didn't get as much walking in as I usually do, but I'm picking that up. The weather is going to be getting warmer. My meds have been the same. Really, the extended release has really, really saved my life when the Seroquel and the lithium came out in extended release and continuous release forms. A tiny baby dose of Zola for irritability, which doesn't happen often. I recognize when it's happening, so I'm able to understand, okay, you're getting irritable and it's not over something that's real. And I'm able to let things just slide, or I just go do something else, I have to say that compared to the past, life's been easy in regards to bipolar disorder. I also think that the hysterectomy said endometriosis. I think that helped a lot too, and I know I talked about that. My doctor, she decided to do inpatient, and I had to go through that anxiety of a new doctor. I only have female doctors. I just prefer their style, their communication abilities, and I just haven't had good luck with male doctors. And right now I've been stable enough that it's okay that I'm in the same group, the same place. but I see a nurse practitioner. And, I'm established enough and trusted enough that I'm going to pick up the phone if there's a problem. So I like her a lot. So that's just like once every 3 months, get my meds refilled, and I'm on my way. I talked about getting the paying job at the animal shelter. I have news in that I'm now the manager of the animal shelter. When the manager that was existed when I got that part-time job, when she left, they offered me the job first, and I went for it. And I've really gotten into the zone. I feel so grown up. I mean, everybody in town knows me. I'm the animal shelter. I'm the face of the animal shelter wherever I go. Sometimes it's a little annoying, but I'm confident in decisions I make and in things I do, and I'm finding out that I do make good decisions, and that I am doing the right things, and I am learning if I make a mistake. And I want to know more still. And I just love it. The paperwork and those things, the things we have to do every month, like the deworming, that's a pain in the ass. I won't lie. But we had these puppies that got so sick, and I was in there in the morning, in the afternoon I popped in to make sure, and then in the evening I took care of them. Because I had nursing experience, I was able to give them an IM injection. And because the vet, she had the sicker ones, it was like this litter of 11, and they were very sick, and I saved lives. And those lives are now in homes. And we have so many puppies right now, it's crazy, and it's kitten season coming, so it's going to be nursing kittens, and I mean, I can make decisions clearly and quickly. That's the difference right there. That's the big difference. I used to have to muddle through so much crap in my head, and now I can streamline a thought and question and come to a decision and keep moving along my day. There are some things I don't make decisions right away, and that sometimes frustrates the board members, but they know how I work, and they know that the next day I'm going to pick up and have an idea, or have agreed with something they suggested or something like that. But for the most part, how quickly to get through and clear thought has really surprised me lately. I didn't think that it would be possible again. I can tell you that I purposely am not seeking a relationship, like romantic relationship, because I am positive that the drama and the tension, or just, it's bad, it's hard enough just dealing with myself and I guess I'm selfish too. I want to watch what I want to watch on TV when I want to watch it. And, you know, um, anyway, I purposely don't want that in my life because I don't think I would be able to do all the things that I do at the shelter in the community. And I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. But something did occur to me, and that's the next thing I'm going to talk about, is that a lot of people are just living with bipolar disorder. And in a way, I think that is kind of, I mean, to me, just living with bipolar disorder is sad. I would like everyone to be able to excel and be happy and still, and have that level of disorder where you have had a history of psychosis and comatose depression for straight year, and to actually come to a point where you feel that you're a successful person and life is exciting. And I think that a lot of people are just getting by. I met so many people because I'm open about having bipolar disorder because I don't want anyone else to be hiding, and that it's okay to talk about it. And kids that volunteer at the animal shelter, some of them have bipolar disorder, and it's okay for them to talk to me. Some other people, and I see sometimes people who are just getting by and they're struggling, but they have to, work, and they don't seem very fulfilled. And I've been there. So I hope that for everyone that is there, they get to feel how I'm feeling. And then there are the people that just get worse and worse, and things happen to them. My brother that I mentioned in my last video had, he was diagnosed with rapid cycling bipolar disorder. He also had a lot of anxiety, like PTSD from being in the Marines. And to cope, he drank and drank and drank. And he drank so much that he couldn't get better. His brain couldn't function, and he became, mental health wise, a very fragile person. And here, I'm going to show you my favorite picture of him, because he's smiling. You can see his dimples. Those are the rocks, sorry. Anyway, one day I was in Michigan visiting family, and he lived in Ohio, and I was going to drive to Ohio to visit him for the day, because it was like 2.5-hour drive, and I hadn't seen him in a very long time. And we had text the night before at about 7:30, and he was found dead at 10:30. He had been walking his dog, his PTSD dog. The dog was still there and didn't leave him. the coroner believes he probably had an arrhythmia brought on by alcohol. He was 44, and the good part of the story is that I found where his dog was, because they had to take him to the pound. And I drove out there and met my mom there, and we picked up the dog, and we drove him all the way from Cleveland, Ohio to Trenton, Missouri, which is in the upper northwest corner there. One hotel, pet-friendly hotel stop. And he was adopted by my brother's friend, a family friend, where he's living with another dog buddy, and he's very happy. So that's been very hard, because all he wanted was what everyone else had, a job and a family, and he couldn't have it. He just couldn't. It just wasn't in the cards for him. He tried and failed and tried and failed and tried and failed. And his body just couldn't take it anymore. The substances, the abuse of the substances, and he wanted to stop, but his body wouldn't let him, his brain wouldn't let him for any length of time, 24 hours at the most. He tried so many times. We tried so many different ways. And my oldest brother isn't looking so hot either. So let's see. My face is hot. I need to change the subject. Another frustrating item is that I've put on a lot of weight. Less exercise, probably, and I don't know. I'm not really sure why. Well, I think it's because I had more time on my hands to think about exercise and calories and weight, and now I work so much that I'm lucky if I can eat my peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch. So that is really, really frustrating, but not as frustrating as it was when I was younger. I was a little more worried about my appearance then, and now I'm more worried about my being, what I represent as a human being. Am I kind, compassionate, knowledgeable? Those things I'm more worried about. So even with a bit of sadness there, I'm doing really well, and I hope that everyone is also doing well or is on the road to doing well and has their mindset, because things can always be better. Okay, good night.